Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a very much requested video all about wedding perfumes. So this video comes with a big caveat, right? I know that a wedding is an incredibly personal event, and it's the kind of thing that you really want to be all about, you know, you and your partner and your personality. So it might be that you want to wear a black wedding dress and wear a super heavy perfume, but in this video I'm basically talking about a stereotypical or archetypal wedding, as it were, that is quite feminine and pretty, and all about that sort of celebrating the fact that you're in this very romantic situation, publicly declaring your love for each other. So these are all very romantic perfumes. Of course, you know, you're likely to be wearing that white dress and like flowers everywhere, so kind of inspired by that type of mood as well. If you're new here, then I have so many hundreds of perfume videos, so do check them all out. If you're a regular and you haven't subscribed yet, then do hit that subscribe button and show your support. I really appreciate it. And as always, I will leave the links down below to where you can find all these perfumes for the UK, Europe and the US. So where shall I start? So I think probably the perfume that I would choose to wear, hypothetically, would be my favourite romantic perfume, and that is Miss Dior. I don't know which version of Miss Dior I'd wear, so I have here the Eau de Toilette. Blooming Bouquet would be lovely. It's got loads of beautiful, peony, fresh smells in it. But then original Miss Dior Eau de Parfum is that beautiful, delicate rose and patchouli, and I think that would last longer on the day. Blooming Bouquet you'd have to keep topping up. And then Absolutely Blooming is a little bit sweeter, but I think it's still very rosy and feminine. And you guys know I love Miss Dior, and I have a whole video explaining the whole range and the difference of them, so I'll leave it linked down below. But I think that would be my top choice. And of course the new one from Miss Dior, Rose and Roses, I have a sample here. You know, it's clearly designed as a wedding fragrance. You know, it's light and fresh and very, you know, rosy and sparkling. Super rosy. It's like a sparkling rose. My only issue with this is that it really doesn't last very long at all, and I know a lot of people have found that. It is an eau de toilette, so it is beautiful, but if you were wearing this on your wedding day, I would want to be topping it up maybe like every 2 hours. Get one of your bridesmaids to hold it in their purse and keep spraying you perhaps. But if you're having a lot of roses, then this would work really well. So next on my list, and one that would really last well, is Elie Saab's Le Parfum. So this is a really pretty, beautiful orange blossom perfume. It's floral, but again it's sparkling, it's womanly, and it's very classy. I think your partner would know that they were marrying a very classy lady. They smelled this on you. I really love it. And perhaps if you are having a summer wedding, you could go for the Elie Saab Le Parfum resort version, resort collection. This is a slightly fruitier version, but not that much. It still broadly smells the same, but it's much cheaper. And I think these are both just that beautiful, classy orange blossom. I love orange blossom. It's so fresh and beautiful and uplifting, and would be perfect for a wedding. I would wear these to a wedding if I was attending, because it would just feel really appropriate, and they're just, yeah, I love Elie Saab Le Parfum. So for something a bit unusual that you know probably no one else in the crowd, in the audience, is going to be wearing, how about going for something like L'Oeil's Soleil? I think this would be a beautiful wedding fragrance. It's obviously inspired by the sun, it's really pretty, and it's incredibly classy and a little bit niche and unusual. It's essentially an orange and pear smell, so very feminine. It has a little bit of almond and praline in, which adds some depth and mystery to it. So if you do like a hint of sweetness in perfumes, but you don't want to go super sweet, you know, like you're going for a nightclub or something, it's not that appropriate for a wedding, then this is a nice mixture of fresh, pretty, but then a little bit of warm praline as well. One which came out last year is Lancome's Idole, and I know this has been very successful for Lancome. It is a good smell and it is very good for lasting, like most Lancome perfumes are. It's a rose smell, slightly powdery musky, and it has a lot of pear in it. So basically it's rose and pear. So it's a very, very feminine, it's very classy and grown up and womanly, but it's still modern and fresh. You know, some of these more like grown-up perfumes can be a bit old-fashioned, but this definitely isn't. It's very, very fresh. It's definitely, you know, spring, summer, and it's, yeah, I just like it. It's neutral, it's inoffensive, but it really lasts quite well. So you wouldn't really need to be topping this up. And of course it has this very unusual bottle. I did a whole video about this when it came out and talking about why the bottle's like this, so I'll leave that linked. But yeah, definitely a good one there. So if you do like fruity perfumes, I would absolutely recommend Jimmy Choo's Eau de Parfum. You guys know this is my favourite smell. It is an amazing pear, but it also has toffee in, so it is a sweet fragrance. So this is on the borderline, I would say, of it being, it's not too sweet to wear for a wedding, but if it was any sweeter then it would be, if that makes sense, because it still has that fresh pear. It's not heavy, it's not sickly, it's a light toffee, a pear toffee. I find it incredibly feminine and I love it. If you found this too sweet, then the low version, the Eau de Toilette, is much, much fresher. I really like that. But it is an eau de toilette, so it won't last that long. Again, if you want something a little bit younger, but great for lasting, you guys know I love YSL Mon Paris. It's a beautiful patchouli rose, but with a little bit of raspberry in. So it's kind of like Jimmy Choo in that it's slightly sweet, but it's still predominantly not sweet. But this sticks around and lasts really well, so I really like Mon Paris. And I just did a video about this range as well because they've got a new flanker out. So perhaps you want something a bit special and a bit niche for your wedding day. In that case, I'd really recommend Floral Street. These are a British brand based in Covent Garden on Floral Street, but they are sold in the US on Sephora. I'll leave the links. And they have two which I think would be lovely. One called Neon Rose, which is a really pretty rose, and then my favourite, Wonderland Peony, which reminds me a lot of Miss Dior Eau de Toilette because it's that beautiful fresh peony, but it's very pretty, very girly, very feminine. I really like it. Super fresh. It's kind of like a citrusy and then it goes a little bit sweet, but overall it's very peony and it's just amazing. So it's something that, again, that, you know, other people probably won't be wearing, so forever you could associate it with your wedding. I know that a lot of people go to Jo Malone London for wedding perfumes because the branding and everything is very, you know, wedding-y and pretty and bows and white and stuff. I personally find a lot of Jo Malone perfumes don't last that well. The one that I would recommend is English Pear and Freesia. It's the only Jo Malone perfume that isn't one of the Absolute ones, which I can smell on people like after they've sprayed it more than half an hour ago. My friend wears it and you can really smell on her, but she does use quite a lot. And it's a beautiful Freesia, very, very feminine. And then again, it's got that pear in. I think pear is a really nice note to have in your wedding perfume. I can imagine as well that Mon Guerlain is used quite a lot at weddings. This is a lavender rose. I don't like lavender, that's why I don't own it, but I recognise that it would be very pretty and very feminine. I do like the new version called Bloom of Roses, which is really fresh. It's like a citrus rose and much more my cup of tea. I really like it, but it is an eau de toilette, so not going to last that long. And then lastly, I would recommend looking at the Signorina range from Salvatore Ferragamo. These all come in these beautiful bottles with these bows on. It's very bridal. This is the Infiore version, which is a beautiful, slightly sweet but mainly floral. And then you've also got the original, which is a really pretty floral. I've done a video about the range, so I'll leave it linked, but I think these, again, not super common, so other people might not be wearing it, but really nice. And they have some fruity ones as well. So those are my recommendations. Of course you can wear whatever perfume you want, those are just my thoughts. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. What would you wear on your wedding day, or what did you wear on your wedding day, and what ones would you add to this list from modern perfumes that are out at the moment. But that's it guys, so thanks so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!